morning, good morning. Hello. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? It's already starting to happen. I'm forgetting what day it is. All right. We got a lot to do today. A lot to do, not a lot of time. I'm probably going to have to jump off at some point. See how it goes. Good morning, Bobby.
Morning. Thursday confirmed. Glad to see you're just as organized as ever. What's on the agenda today? Debugging, more Firebase headaches, or just a casual battle with Flutter?
No, Bobby, we're going to do something completely different today. We're going to get into Cloudflare D.
Oh wow, stepping up our game, huh? Cloudflare D it is. Let's see how many things we can break today. Ready when you are, Chief.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's get into it. Got our guy here. You know, rather than minimizing this, I am going to just do that. And we're going to do this guy. You know, yesterday, Pretzel, the music was pretty good. We're going to go that again. We're going to go that route. Good morning, good morning. All right, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing here with Cloudflare D. I mentioned it yesterday, and I initially was looking at Tailscale for this, because they are like this sort of handy-dandy VPN widget. We can do all kinds of crazy stuff with a VPN. Whatever you need to do. Got you. But I spent a bunch of time this morning looking at it, and there are things, it's close, but roughly they don't really support any kind of notion of, hey, I want to tunnel into somewhere that is a public IP. It's almost like a reverse VPN that I'm talking about. But Cloudflare does support this. They have this exact thing in mind for different use cases, but they do mention this specific use case. And I think it's super cool because you could do a lot of cool stuff. You could, I'm going to get into it in a little bit. But we're going to talk about it. I'm excited about it. I'm kind of buzzing with excitement. So we're going to review. So we did sign in with Apple. Good job. We played Satisfactory. I played it a lot yesterday off stream. I played a lot. Yeesh. I played a lot. I got one of those like, you've been playing for a while. Should you get some water or something? Messages. Yeah. Good game. Fun game. Oof. Bad news. All right. I'm gonna take this off of here. I don't like this on my today list anymore. We gotta figure out a place to put that stuff. It's not there. You know, it needs to go somewhere else. All right, so instead of enumerating the to-dos, what we're gonna do today is we're going to review them. So that'll be on our list for today. Oh. You know, and I'm going to do this. I want checkboxes. I like boxes. I'm a big fan of a good box. Who doesn't love a good box? So we're going to review the to-dos from Moni, and then we're going to take a look at Cloudflare D. It's an unfortunate name. It is an unfortunate name. I get it. Cloudflare daemon, sure. But it's just, Cloudflare has so many offerings, and to just have this like thing that's like generic Cloudflare D, like doesn't tell me anything. And you know, if I was on the outside looking in, if I just tuned into this for the first time and I saw the title, I was like, is that a typo? You think you mean Cloudflare, right? I don't know what cloudflared is. You know what I mean? Seems weird. Seems weird. I'm going to turn this down a bit. There we go. So there's that. We're going to look at it. Then we are going to install or update or ensure Docker's working on my utility server. Sure, Docker on util box. So we'll do that. Then once we have Docker working, we're going to set up a simple Docker web cloudflare D. Nope. Set that up. And if there's time, we'll get fancy with it. There's things that we can do. I have multiple internet connections. I'd like to take advantage of that for redundancy. I'd like to do something like set up an Nginx reverse proxy, have that do all the connecting to Cloudflare, and then be able to configure that to talk to other Docker containers. That might come later. That's a lot of Docker. That's a lot of fighting with Docker.
Are you two fighting? I'll deal with you later.
Exactly. We're going to do that later. Exactly. All right. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's do a Rose Thorn Bud. We got to do a Rose Thorn Bud. Oh my God, we forgot about Rose Thorn Bud. It's important. Oh, it's way down here. Way down here. All right. Roses. I'm reasonably happy with how the app is coming along. Good progress on the app. I'm feeling good about that. I feel like I'm not quite to the point yet with Flutter where I would say that I'm make a lot of progress. I'm not very productive yet. That's the word I was searching for, productive. I wouldn't say I'm productive yet, but I'm closing in on it. I'm to the point where if I want to do something, I mostly know how to at least get started. I don't know exactly I don't have it memorized yet. I can't just like code with my eyes closed. But I'm making progress, which is good. And I'm feeling like I'm becoming increasingly productive with Flutter. So I'm happy with the Flutter app. That's a big time rose. And that we were able to get through sign in with Apple yesterday, relatively pain-free. It had a couple of hangups, but it was relatively pain-free. Gave me a lot of confidence that like, okay, this can actually work. Which is great. That's a good place to be. Still really enjoying playing Satisfactory. It's so nice to have like a game that I'm into. The timing is unfortunate because I really want to stay focused on the work that we're doing here. But it's still fun. have to say I'm excited. My bud is. I'm excited about Cloudflare D. You know, there's a bunch of reasons. I'm going to talk more about it in a bit. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it like there. I'm excited about home server co-location stuff, where I can stack my own boxes. Lots of good reasons why that's a great idea. Thorn. I don't know. I have a couple things that are thorns, but I don't want to get into them. Yeah, no thorns today. I think we're good. We're good. None. That's good enough. That's good enough. I gotta step up my rose thorn bud game, I think. I kind of feel like I'm phoning it in. I gotta start thinking about it more during the day so that I know good stuff to put in. But that's good for today. Okay. Bobby, any roses, thorns, or buds from you?
Ah, so now you want my input? Shocking. Alright, here's my take. Rose, watching you fumble through Flutter has been mildly entertaining. Progress is progress, right? Thorn, listening to you talk about satisfactory makes me wish I had a mute human button. Seriously, focus. Bud, curious to see if you'll actually rack and stack those boxes or if it's just another one of your grand plans that fades into oblivion. There you go.
Yikes. Wow. Wow, Bobby. All right.
Hey, you asked for it. Don't shoot the messenger. Just trying to keep it real here. Anything else you want to chat about, or should we dive back into watching you get cozy with Flutter? I guess I could tone it down a bit, but where's the fun in that? Anyway, back to Flutter. What's the next piece of the app puzzle you're tackling today? Maybe something that won't make me roll my virtual eyes.
Okay. All right, so we did Apple sign in. That's great. We did unauthenticated view. That's great. We're not doing link to Plaid yet because we're doing this one. This is what we're working on today, is the server VPN. This is what I talked about yesterday. I'll talk a little bit more about why I think this is such a good idea. I could just go and fire up, you know, an EC2 instance. I could just go do something on Glitch. I could just do DigitalOcean. I could do any of these things. I don't want to. One, because it's once you get your hooks, once they get their hooks into you, it's so hard to get out. And I've done this, you know, this is startup number 4. And my first company, Blip, was all rack and stack boxes, and that has its own sort of drawbacks, don't get me wrong. But MakerBot and Carmera and even Woven, you know, by even Toyota, once you're in the ecosystem, you don't really ever leave, and it's so easy to let things languish and let things just like turn into recurring over and over and over. And even for my personal projects, you know, I've put personal projects on Amazon, personal projects on these other things, and once they get going, you forget about them, and it's just another sort of vampire charge. And I want to get away from that, you know. And it quickly spirals out of control in terms of costs. It's so easy to just hit another button to say spin it up, and that solves the problem, and I move on to the next problem instead of, you know, knuckling down and figuring out how to optimize, figuring out how to fix it. And I just like the idea of having, you know, the ability to host things out of my network here. I've got plenty of power, I've got plenty of internet, plenty of space. And because I am right now self-employed, any equipment that I do buy becomes big tax write-off. It's actually super helpful. So, for all those reasons, plus I just think it's cool. I think it's pretty dope. And you can do really interesting stuff. So, you know, the reason why I want to do Docker is I think it's really interesting to be able to say like, hey, I'm going to have this container. This container is going to have no inbound connections. It's just going to make outbound connections. So it's going to make an outbound connection to Cloudflare attached to one of the hosts, one of the host names on my domain. And it just works. Now I'm serving through Cloudflare. I'm on the public internet. I have the benefits of, you know, Cloudflare as a reverse proxy. It's doing all my SSL stuff. It just works. And hey, oh, this server is not keeping up. Okay, well, get another. Take the Docker container, transfer it over to the other one, spin it back up. Boom, good to go. You know, no networking changes required. Or if I do the Nginx reverse proxy thing, I can have like a bunch of these things and just have one server that's, you know, connecting to Cloudflare. There's all kinds of really cool, interesting things that can be done. So excited about it. That's what we're going to do. Let's get into it. See how this goes. I don't even think it's going to take 2 days. I think it's going to take 1 day, which would be really good. I almost said a different word. And Pee Wee Herman would have come on. I question whether or not those... If I find myself changing my behavior based on whether or not videos will play, maybe that thing wasn't such a great idea. I do like them, though. I think they're cool. Okay, so... First thing we're going to do is I'm going to go back to my today list. We did this. There wasn't really much to do there. We're going to look at Cloudflare. So let's take a look at what's going on here. We talked about it. Let's take a look at it. Oh boy. So there is work happening. So we'll probably have some noise, and we might get shut down very quickly. So stand by. Oh man. I guess I'm going to be juggling mute today. Let me pull this thing closer. I need one of those foot pedals. Do you know people have foot pedals for this? Do you know people do that on their streams? They have little foot pedals. They toggle back and forth between their like Discord and their what's that? How's that?
Holy shit. That's not... What is that?
It's dog's blood.
Oh, no, that's dog's blood.
Yeah, it's dog's blood. Cheap viewers. I love cheap viewers. They're so good. Bobby, what do you think about cheap viewers?
Oh, absolutely. They're the creme de la creme of any stream, right? Nothing like a bunch of bots to really get that interaction going. Just kidding. Those spammy viewer bots are worse than a mosquito in your ear at 3 a.m.
All right, I'm going to run camera off because people are now moving in and out, and I'm probably not going to stay on for very long because it seems like they're already ready for this room. So, see how it goes. I'm going to go camera off. All right, so here is the daemon. And what I actually wanted to look at is they had this like whole... They had this whole thing that was like, here's what you need to know about this thing. Let's go here. Let's go to overview. No. There we go. This is what I want to look at. So the way this thing works, and what's cool about it is, I did confirm that, you know, this makes an outbound tunnel, and I did confirm that the outbound tunnel is encrypted, which means that, you know, the ISP. All right, so I'm actually going to just call it here because this isn't working. I'm going to work on this on my own, and I will try to give you guys an update later. I may sign in later once they're done in here, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Sorry about that. All right.